On Reddit, there's a community for everything. Cute cat pictures, music theories, bread stapled to trees, and now overthrowing the global financial system. In 2021, a bunch of Redditors decided Wall Street was their next meme. The result? Billions lost, hedge funds toppled, and the rules of finance turned upside down.
They've been manipulating the stock market in a very similar way forever.
But that was just a warm-up. Now, these digital communities are creating their own currencies, not based on gold or government backing, but on something far more powerful in the internet age: memes. Welcome to the era of meme coins, where internet jokes are worth billions, and digital tribes are rewriting the rules of value itself.
Cryptocurrency is now one of the biggest in the world.
Brace yourself, because the future of finance is about to get weird. At a recent conference in Singapore, Murad Mammadov takes the center stage and presents his thesis on the crypto space. Mammadov's journey from Bitcoin maximalist to meme coin oracle has shocked the crypto world. But to truly grasp the significance of his predictions, we need to go back to a moment when the internet first took on Wall Street and won. Back to where it all began, the GameStop revolution. January 2021, a dying video game retailer's stock explodes 1700% in days. A Reddit army of traders armed with memes and stimulus checks bring billion-dollar hedge funds to their knees. This isn't just a trade, it's a revolution, a glimpse of a world where the internet can rewrite the rules of finance. This is a story of how internet jokes become serious money, how Reddit takes on Wall Street, and how one man, Murad Mammadov, believes memes will reshape global finance forever. Our story begins not on Wall Street, but in the depths of Reddit on a forum called Wall Street Bets, a digital watering hole known for its memes, self-deprecating humor, and high-risk stock speculation. Now enter Keith Gill, known on YouTube as Roaring Kitty and on Reddit as Deep Fucking Value. Gill sees potential in GameStop where others see only decline. His thesis: GameStop isn't just undervalued, it's ripe for a short squeeze. But what exactly is a short squeeze? When an investor short sells a stock, they're essentially betting that the stock price will go down. They borrow shares from a broker, sell them immediately, and hope to buy them back later at a lower price, pocketing the difference. While they are borrowing them, they pay an interest rate to the lender. A short squeeze occurs when a heavily shorted stock suddenly increases in value. As the price rises, short sellers are forced to buy back the stock to cut their losses, driving the price even higher. This can create a feedback loop, causing the stock price to skyrocket. Gill's analysis catches fire on Wall Street Bets. Soon, an army of retail investors rallies around GameStop. Their plan is simple: buy and hold, forcing short-selling hedge funds into a corner. Powered by a popular centralized stock trading exchange back then, Robinhood, these investors begin pushing GameStop's stock price higher and higher. By January 28, 2021, GameStop skyrockets to $483 a share, up from just $17.25 at the start of the year, January 4th to be exact. Melvin Capital, one of the major hedge funds shorting GameStop, reportedly loses 53% of its value in that month alone. They needed a $2.75 billion bailout from other hedge funds to remain afloat during that time. But then, at the height of the frenzy, Robinhood restricts users from buying more GameStop stock, citing unprecedented market volatility. They even force sell people's stock. The internet traders are livid. Their revolution has been halted by the very tools that made it possible. The GameStop saga sends shockwaves through the financial world. It demonstrates the power of online communities to challenge Wall Street's dominance. It raises questions about market manipulation, the role of social media in finance, and the fairness of the stock market itself. In the aftermath, regulators and lawmakers scramble to understand what has happened and whether new rules are needed. The event sparks a broader conversation about democratizing finance and the influence of internet culture on traditional markets. Some key lawmakers even think that the common man, you and I, shouldn't be allowed to buy stocks. As the dust settles on the GameStop event, another financial phenomenon is gaining momentum: meme coins. The same forces that drove the GameStop frenzy, online communities, meme culture, and a rebellious spirit, are now reshaping the cryptocurrency landscape. Now, fast forward a few years, we're in 2024, the meme coin market has exploded. Names like Dogecoin, Pepe, Whiff, Flocky, Popcat, SPX 6900, Giga, GOAT, and Bonk have become familiar, not just to crypto enthusiasts, but to a broader audience drawn in by the promise of quick gains and the allure of being part of a cultural phenomenon. But I'll be honest, it's absolute chaos. But there is one voice standing out, a former Bitcoin maximalist turned meme coin oracle, Murad Mammadov. Mammadov's journey to this point is far from straightforward. A Princeton University graduate, Murad's crypto journey began in 2013 during a study abroad year in China, where he met an early employee of a crypto exchange. However, it wasn't until stints at Goldman Sachs and Glencore, which is a trading and mining company, that Murad fully committed to crypto, becoming a Bitcoin maximalist in 2017. He is no stranger to the crypto world. He's known for his deep analysis and unwavering belief in Bitcoin's potential. He has built a reputation as a respected voice in the cryptocurrency space. But in 2024, Mammadov shocks his followers with a dramatic shift in perspective. His rise in the crypto world is meteoric. He establishes a community of tens of thousands, becoming a leading Bitcoin analyst, and sees his portfolio grow fivefold in just 7 months. In 2019, he founds Adaptive Capital, a crypto fund that unfortunately collapsed during the March 2020 market crash. At the Token 2049 conference in Singapore, in September 2024, Mammadov takes the stage and delivers a speech that literally sets the crypto world ablaze. Gone is the Bitcoin maximalist. In his place stands a prophet of the meme coin revolution. Mammadov's words send ripples through the audience. Some cheer, others scoff, but all are captivated. And in the days that follow, his speech is dissected, debated, and shared across every corner of crypto Twitter. This is the $1 trillion prediction. Mammadov's Twitter feed, @MustStopMurad, becomes a hub for meme coin insights and predictions. His followers hang on every word, treating his tweets like prophecies. And in April 2024, he shocked the crypto world with a bold prediction. Meme coins will reach $1 trillion market cap.
1 trillion for meme coins market cap.
For context, as of October 2024, the entire cryptocurrency market cap stands at approximately 2.8 trillion, with Bitcoin accounting for about $1.2 trillion of that. This prediction marks a stark departure from Mammadov's previous stance as a Bitcoin maximalist. For years, he's been known for articles like The Ultimate Argument for Bitcoin and The Past and Future of Bitcoin. He now adopts a long-haired, bearded appearance that aligns with the anti-mainstream cult culture he now promotes. But his vision goes beyond mere market cap predictions. He argues that meme coins represent a fundamental shift in how we perceive and interact with money. His thesis is built on several key observations. Only 43 tokens on CoinMarketCap outperformed Bitcoin in 2024 year-to-date returns. Surprisingly, 13 out of the top 20 performers were meme coins. There was a massive overproduction of tokens,
There's a massive overproduction of tokens.
with well over 600,000 launched in 2024 alone. Extremely inflated altcoin valuations at initial listings were common. Despite almost 10 years of smart contract technology, there was a lack of non-speculative decentralized applications. He argues that these factors are creating a perfect storm for what he calls the meme coin supercycle. But what exactly does Mammadov mean by speculation premium? He argues that traditional altcoins have long been valued based on their potential future utility, a speculation on what they might become. Meme coins, on the other hand, derive their value from immediate cultural relevance and community engagement. This shift, he believes, represents a fundamental change on how value is created and perceived in the digital age. It isn't just about technology anymore. It's about narrative, community, and shared cultural experiences. Mammadov's approach to meme coin analysis is surprisingly methodical. He develops a hierarchy of meme coins, categorizing them based on their cultural impact and potential for growth.
This is how I see the meme coin space evolving. You want to be focused on things that are going to become cults, brands, or movements.
This analytical approach is a natural evolution of Mammadov's skills. In 2018, he was considered one of the leading Bitcoin analysts, known for his on-chain analysis articles. Now he applies this rigorous thinking to meme coins, and he's begun sharing his meme trading philosophy and targets within his community. At the bottom of this pyramid are what he calls shitcoins and trash, and celeb coins, which he considers the least valuable. Moving up, he identifies categories like irrelevant memes, phrase coins, and animal coins, each with diminishing numbers but increasing potential value. At the top of his pyramid are what he terms cults, lifestyle brand subcultures, movement missions, and intriguingly, neo-religions. Mammadov argues that the most valuable meme coins will be those that transcend mere financial speculation and become cultural movements. This hierarchy isn't just academic theory. Mammadov uses it as a practical tool for identifying potential high-value meme coins. He argues that the higher up the pyramid a coin is, the more likely it is to have a lasting value and impact. His vision of meme coins goes beyond mere financial speculation. He sees them as filling a void in modern society, particularly as traditional institutions, including religion, lose their influence. He argues that as religion's role diminishes in society, people will seek new forms of community and meaning. And he believes that meme coins, with their strong communities and shared narratives, could fill this gap. This controversial view suggests that meme coins aren't just a financial phenomenon, but a societal one. Mammadov sees them as a new form of social organization, blending elements of finance, culture, and community in ways that traditional institutions struggle to match. Mammadov isn't just theorizing. He put his money where his mouth is, and the crypto community took notice. In October 2024, crypto investigator and on-chain detective Zach XBT published a thread on Twitter detailing Mammadov's wallet activities and meme coin holdings. The investigation reveals significant holdings in a variety of meme coins, including MOG, SPX 6900, and APU. This transparency, while controversial, lends credibility to Mammadov's bullish stance on meme coins. It also shed light on the timing of his investments, showing that he'd been accumulating meme coins well before his public advocacy. This does raise questions about the influence of high-profile figures in the crypto space and the potential for market manipulation. These wallets total well over $25 million worth of assets. These diverse viewpoints on investigative work in the crypto space reflect the complex ethical considerations at play in the rapidly evolving meme coin landscape. It's crucial to keep in mind these ongoing discussions about transparency, accountability, and the delicate balance between investigation and potential consequences in the crypto world. Mammadov's criteria for selecting meme coins are specific and often counterintuitive. In a recent chat with Handsome Finance, he takes us through his process. Let's break them down with examples. He advises against buying anything new or shielded by key opinion leaders. For example, he would avoid a coin that just launched on dexes like Pump.fun or Radium and is being heavily promoted by crypto influencers on Twitter. The pair age on Dex Screener should be minimum 4,000 hours, at least 3 months old. That means looking for coins that have been trading for a significant period. For instance, a coin like Pepe, which has been trading for several months before its major price surge, would meet this criterion. Focus on established chains like Solana and Ethereum. He prefers meme coins on well-known blockchains rather than newer or less established networks. Look for communities that survive 70% drops. Only by cults, Mammadov would say. Examples of this would be GigaChad or Michi. They have maintained a strong community despite experiencing several significant price drops over the months. Target market caps between $5 and $200 million. This range allows for significant growth potential while avoiding the riskiest microcap coins. Seek unique artwork and lingo culture. Coins like PopCat, with its distinct meme character and community-specific language, exemplify this criterion. Avoid derivatives of other coins. This means steering clear of copycat projects. As an example, he might consider investing in Pepe. He would avoid the numerous Inu, Poki coins that followed in its wake, trying to capitalize on its success. He values coins based on memes with broader cultural relevance. Pepe the Frog, for instance, it became a meme long before it became a cryptocurrency. These criteria reflect Mammadov's belief that the most successful meme coins will be those with established communities, unique cultural identities, and proven resilience. His vision of meme coins goes beyond mere financial speculation. He sees them as filling a void in modern society, particularly in traditional institutions, including religion, as they lose their influence. Now, his most controversial claim is his prediction of a shift in the meme coin landscape. He believes that the market will move from animal coins to non-animal coins, and from joke coins to more serious projects. He points to coins like SPX 6900 as the ideal formula. For context, SPX 6900 is a unique meme coin that is capitalizing on the stock market and aims to surpass the market cap of the S&P 500. He describes it as having the perfect cult formula movement. This prediction reflects Mamedov's broader thesis about the evolution of meme coins. He argues that as the market matures, investors will seek out projects with more substance and cultural significance. The era of simple dog memes, he believes, is coming to an end. In October 2024, he released a list of his top conviction coins for this cycle. The list includes names like SPX 6900, Giga, Mog, and Apu. Each coin comes with a brief rationale ranging from strongest meme in crypto to quintessential boomer of shitcoins. He isn't just interested in short-term gains. He believes these coins represent the future of finance and community building.
The meme mania, quote unquote, we had in March of 2024, I think that was just the first of the 3 pumps.
His analysis goes beyond just picking winners. He looks at metrics like the percentage of holders with significant stakes, which he sees as evidence of real distribution and real skin in the game. In one of his tweets, he shared data showing that coins like SPX 6900 and MOG have holder distribution comparable to Bitcoin, with over 30% of holders owning more than $1,000 worth of the token. This focus on holder distribution is key to Mamedov's thesis. He argues that a wide distribution of holders, particularly those with significant stakes, indicates a strong and committed community. This in turn will lead to greater stability and long-term value. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of his vision is what he calls hyper-meme coinization.
And you will see hyper-meme coinization before hyper-Bitcoinization. And
this is the idea that memes, and by extension meme coins, will increasingly shape our economic and social reality. In the digital age, narrative and community are as important as traditional economic fundamentals. He sees meme coins as not just a new asset class, but a new way of organizing human cooperation and creativity. This concept of hyper-meme coinization goes beyond just financial markets. He believes that memes are becoming a primary mode of cultural expression and value creation in the digital age. Meme coins, in his view, are simply the financial expression of this broader cultural shift. Despite Mamedov's enthusiasm and data-driven approach, not everyone is convinced about the future of meme coins. Critics argue that these tokens have no intrinsic value and are driven purely by speculation and hype. You've got the normal people, of course, that don't like them, like Warren Buffett, but he doesn't like crypto at all. Gary Gensler, he doesn't like them, but then again, he doesn't like crypto at all. There are other people in the crypto space that don't like them either, but this is a very strong narrative. To me and the research team, this makes so much sense. Of course, it is not financial advice, but it does. It just makes so much sense. However, as meme coins gain popularity, they also attract regulatory scrutiny. Gary Gensler has emphasized the need for investor protection in the crypto space.
It's basically to instill trust and protect investors.
However, he's done nothing to really provide for this, but just letting you know that this is a narrative that can be pushed by the mainstream media as well. Ultimately, these regulatory concerns highlight the uncertain legal status of meme coins. Are they securities, commodities, something entirely new? The answers to these questions could have profound implications for the future of the meme coin market. Mamedov, however, sees these criticisms as missing the point. He argues that meme coins serve a deeper societal purpose. In an era of increasing wealth equality, pervasive loneliness, and what some call a crisis of meaning, meme coins offer more than just potential financial gains. According to Mamedov, meme coins provide a sense of community and belonging, the hope of financial freedom, a form of collective artistic expression, a way to defy social norms, and challenge the status quo. The Price and Faith Index. He argues that the best meme coins have more functionality than almost all altcoins.
The best meme coins actually have more utility than almost all tech alts.
He believes the functionality is providing fun, reducing loneliness, and offering identity recognition. In his view, meme coins are achieving the goals that DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, were supposed to fulfill, bringing resonance, emotional connection, a sense of mission and meaning, entertainment, and even promoting charity and storytelling. This perspective is encapsulated in what he calls the Price and Faith Index, which typically only applies to meme coins. He points to the success of platforms like Pump.Fun and Polymarket as evidence that good crypto products don't necessarily need tokens, while the best tokens like Pepe and WIF don't need products. Challenging traditional finance. This societal aspect of meme coins is perhaps the most difficult for traditional finance to grapple with. How do you value a sense of belonging? How do you quantify the worth of a shared joke or a collective aspiration? These are the questions that Mammadov's thesis forces us to confront. Murad's meme coin prophecy, outlandish as it may seem, is a mirror reflecting our own hopes, fears, and aspirations in the digital age. In the end, the story of meme coins is not just about money. It's about the power of ideas, the strength of communities, and the unpredictable ways in which technology and culture collide to create something entirely new. And speaking of new, our team is diving deep into the world of meme coins as we speak. We're on a journey to understand this phenomenon better, and we want you along for the ride. Make sure to follow us here for the latest updates on our meme coin research. For those of you itching to explore, Murad mentioned a few meme coins like Popcat and Giga. You can find these on platforms like Jupiter, jupe.ag. And if you're feeling adventurous and want to discover newer meme coins, ape.pro is a great place to start. But hey, if you're not ready to jump in just yet, don't sweat it. We've got a whole series of videos on meme coins in the pipeline, as we just said. These will help you to get up to speed and understand the landscape better before you make any moves. Things are about to get pretty interesting.